The everlasting fight between the suburbanites and also the urbanites continues here in the Denver area. Honestly, it will all depend on your lifestyle, but in this video, we're going to be talking about the differences and the advantages of both living in the suburbs and living in the city. That being said, let's get right to business here. Let's go over the advantages of living in the suburbs. And number one is just bigger homes. The average size of a suburban home is about 2,200 square feet versus the average home size is about 1,700 square feet in the city. So that gives you about like 500 square feet of more living space in the suburbs versus the city. Another advantage of living in the suburbs is that you have opportunities to buy a newer home. Places like Aurora Highlands, Sterling Ranch, and also Looking Glass give a lot of incentives to purchase a brand new build. And when you combine a brand new home with low rates and also closing costs covered, it's really hard to fight against that or even compete with that. A little word of caution here, even if you were to buy a brand new home, make sure you do your due diligence and get a home inspection done. It's incredible how fast these builders move, and with that speed, you want to make sure that they did a good job on the home previous, which could include your new development that you're trying to purchase. In the suburbs, you get a bigger home size, and with that, you can also get a bigger lot size. Buying in the suburbs means you can take advantage of, let's say, a bigger backyard, a bigger front yard, and even a detached garage if that's something you're interested in. And with a backyard, a porch, and things like that, it just attracts a different type of demographic, right? A certain home buyer that might have a family or an extended family that's trying to live with them in that particular home. Oftentimes with these bigger lot sizes, you could take advantage of a detached garage and changing that into a detached ADU. And if you're curious about making some extra income or housing some more relatives, you should go check out the West Denver Single Family Plus program, where they give you a lot of incentives to convert that garage or create another ADU in that huge lot that you have in the backyard. I made a YouTube video on it not too long ago and how you can take advantage of this program and make some serious cash on that ADU. Oftentimes in the suburbs, you get opportunities to be a part of these better school districts, like in Boulder or Littleton or Douglas County school districts. And these school districts are the best in the state of Colorado. The thing is it's about 30 minutes away from the city of Denver. I mean, at the same time, looking at the other side of the coin, you're looking at Denver public school systems at an average B rating according to niche.com. So why are school districts really that important? Well, when you have better school districts, you actually attract a lot more buyer demand, higher property values, and better education for the next generation. And when you have a home that is of higher demand, the value will maintain, if not increase, faster over time. When you own a home that's in a highly regarded school district, you can expect to sell it for more than if that home was outside of that school district. Real quick, before we continue, if you're thinking about moving to the Denver area, I have a 100% free relocation guide. Here, this QR code is right here, will take you right to it. Like I said, it's 100% free. It takes you to the biggest employers, the hospitals nearby, and also some of my favorite food places, and it gives you a good introduction to the Denver area. Make sure you go check that out. Like I said, it's 100% free, and I wanna make sure you're making the right decision in where you wanna go and also how you want to go about it. So if anything, you can also hit me up. All my contact information is down below in the description. Yeah, like I said, all free, lots of good stuff right there. Make sure you go check it out. Another advantage to living in the suburbs is that you have less traffic and you don't have to worry about parking as much. For the most part, the people that are driving through your neighborhood are the people that live next to you or within that neighborhood. And also with that, you get wider streets and no parking meters that you have to deal with, and that's pretty attractive. In tandem to that, you get less noise pollution because you have less traffic driving through your neighborhood. Generally speaking, in the suburbs, you have quieter neighborhoods because you don't have bars open until 2 a.m. Restaurants are a drive away, maybe like 5 to 10 minutes away, and it's all very residential where you're located. I currently live in the suburbs, and I find it pretty nice to walk my dog and see a whole bunch of kids playing in the parks or in the cul-de-sac and things like that. It's kind of a nice community feel versus having to, travel pretty far just to go to a park and things like that. And also with that, you don't have ambulance, cops, or fire trucks constantly driving by your home. It's kind of nice not having to worry about these sirens going off even at 10 or midnight. Another really big advantage to living in the suburbs is that it's very attractive for those remote workers out there. And if you don't have to drive to work, why would you have to live in the city? I mean, those people that are looking to work remotely often value that elbow room, a little bit more space, and they just enjoy that a little bit more comfort of away from the hustle and bustle. Most of those people who work remotely here in the Denver area work in tech or are software engineers. In fact, as of 2023, the stats say that 22.3% of the workers that are here in Denver are remote workers. Most of the people that come to Denver value the space, and you're just not going to get that kind of space if you're living in the city. And before we go into the benefits of living in the city, let me know in the comments below if you're currently living in the city and you're moving to the suburbs, or maybe even considering the suburbs, or even vice versa. Let me know in the comments below. Genuinely curious, because I kind of have that itch to live in the city as well, but I'm curious what your thoughts are. Alright, so now onto the advantages of living in the city. We gotta go over the walkability and also the public transit here in the city. Consistently, as I tour more homes here in the city of Denver, the walkability scores are 70 plus versus the suburbs. You're looking at 40-ish or even 30-ish, where you have to drive a car in the suburbs. And when you have a walkability score of 70 plus, you can easily walk over to bars, restaurants, grocery stores, and not have to rely on your car as much. Additionally, with all the rail lines and the public transits like the bus lines all converging to the city of Denver, it's pretty easy to find a public transit system not too far away from your city dwelling. Another advantage to living in the city is that it is way closer to the job opportunities and networking events. And as you know, I live in the suburbs, and I can't tell you how many times I've reconsidered going to these networking events just because I live 30 minutes away from these events. And with that, there's such a benefit to living closer to these events, and the opportunity cost of not going to these events is pretty significant. So for those that live in the city where it's only 10 to 15 minutes away or even a scooter ride away, it's a much easier decision to go to these events. It's all about connections and relationships these days, and when you rub shoulders with the right people, good things will happen. Another benefit to the city life is that you get the nightlife, the culture, and the restaurants not too far away from you. Being in the city means you're being a part of the culture, and you're not too far away from really good restaurants, bars, and things like that, especially when things are so dense, where you got people walking by, you got businesses not too far away, and your friend's house just might be walkable. So for those of you who are single or are a young professional, it's a pretty easy decision to live in the city where you got, your Uber ride is less than 40 bucks, you can just scooter to certain places. It's just so compact, and you don't have to go very far to get to your destination. And for me, even though I live in the city, it's a pretty easy decision for me to take that drive and go to these really good restaurants, because I consider myself a foodie. And if you're ever curious about some of my favorite restaurants in the Denver area, you should go check out my YouTube video. It's my Denver food guide of 2023. It's a little outdated, and I'm planning on coming out with another one here in 2025. But nonetheless, go check it out. It's 46 of my favorite restaurants here in the Metro Denver area. A cool advantage to living in the city is that you get to be a part of these unique and full of character neighborhoods. I mean, the crown molding, the archways leading into different rooms, and honestly, the hardwood flooring, all of that is just underrated in my opinion. Some of that I really value now with seeing so many homes that I've shown over time. Hey y'all, real quick, as much as I love making these videos, there's only one thing I love more, and it is making sure that you're moving to the right neighborhoods and you're making the correct move over to the Denver area. And I love helping out families. I've helped countless families move over to the Denver area, and I want to make sure that you're making the right move as well. So if you're ever curious and want to hit me up, all my contact information is down below in the description, just right there, maybe a couple inches down. make sure that you hit me up. You can set up a Zoom call with me. You can text me. You can even call me if you want to reach me. So looking forward to it. I want to make sure that you're making the right move. Another big advantage to living in the city is that you generally have more affordable homes. And according to Redfin's 2023 stats here in the Denver area, urban homes are about $60K less than your typical suburban home here in the Denver area. And when you take into account condos or townhomes that are less than $400,000, it's a pretty easy decision to make to want to buy a home and be an owner of that versus having to deal with rents or getting kicked out or dealing with a bad landlord and things like that. In my opinion, starter homes are very underrated. It's okay to go into a condo or a town home where you can afford the monthly payments and enjoy where you live. And then eventually, let's say 5, maybe even 10 years later, you can upgrade and all that equity that you've built into that condo can move into that bigger home as your lifestyle changes. Living in the city means you're also a part of the action. When you have sports events and stadiums nearby, it's hard to be bored in the city. And specifically to Denver, you have 3 major league stadiums not too far away from each other. I'd say within 10 minutes away from each other, where you got Coors Field, you got Ball Arena, and you also have Mile High Stadium. Here's the cool part, they're all connected via a public transit system as well. Both the Ball Arena and the Mile High Stadium are connected with the W&E lines, so it's super easy to get to. So now looking at it, the only time I would probably ever use my car is for my clients and my showings whenever I have to go outside of the city. Another huge advantage with living in the city are people that want to take advantage of just easy access to the Denver airport. I mean, honestly, you just got to take the 70 East going to DIA or Denver International Airport and you're there. Or you can even take the A line from Union Station and that will take you right to the airport. The parking lot for DIA is sometimes full and it's really annoying where you have to pay like $25 per night if you were to keep your car in the garage part of DIA. Honestly, it's probably best to keep your car at home where you don't have to worry about your car just sitting there and gathering dust or something like that. Keep it at home, take public transit, and you can take a nap along the way and just wake up when you get there. I might be a little biased, but the city life is pretty sweet. So if you're ever curious about what it is like in the Denver area or what is considered the suburbs of the Denver area, let me know. All my contact information is down below in the description, and also make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you're not missing any more videos in regards to the Denver lifestyle, real estate, and all that good stuff. So outside of that, thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you next week.